found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If they had to drag him using a tarp or something, they wouldn't have been able to bend over.
Because the suit doesn't bend.
Exactly.
Make your argument.
The costume.
The blueprints?
No, just the costume.
Okay.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
No.
Should have listened to the rest first.
Yeah. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
Contradiction in there somewhere.
I already only have 2 hearts left.
As we know, Taka was killed in the...
And from there,
Yeah, the then loaded it on...
no.
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Hey,
There we go.
just gotta wait a little bit longer.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Can't even bend anything.
Surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
And not get discovered by anyone else.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
No, because of the clasps on the back.
Once it's on, you can never.
You just never take it off, although he's not wearing it.
If you remember,
But I can't actually get it off. A little help. Didn't make the stupid freaking thing. It's clasps on the back, keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Ding ding.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please.
Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
I get hurt. That guy hit me.
What guy? Robo Justicer, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
A little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Celeste, once again. Saw a shadow.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
This is also the most emotive we've ever seen her. In this trial specifically.
Well, she was attacked.
Yes, agreed.
and then...
Hifumi.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
See, what's interesting about that, though, is if we are assuming it's Celeste, well, if I am, she was up with us when Hifumi died, so someone else had to have done it. But the other 3 went that way. If Hiro was trapped in a locker the entire time, I don't know.
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Body disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
See, this is what I was thinking, that it's 2 separate murderers. But in that situation, then who's the second one? If Hiro's not it, Celeste could be one of them, but I don't know who the second person would be. Unless Taka was a murderer, he got killed though.
In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Look at all the pictures hanging around the people.
Yeah.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order the Taka came last.
What fucking...
What
There we
makes
go.
you say that?
You can always check the controls by
numbering of
pressing
the
start.
Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
No.
So, regarding Taka's, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Damn it.
Shoot!
We're running out of parts here.
I'm running out of hearts here.
So, regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers. Shoot!
We're getting very close to the last bit of power that we have
I
left.
wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice.
It's true that Hifumi was while
There's
Taka's
nothing
death.
after that point.
They clearly have their own idea.
Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they
Maybe-
were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's
Maybe you're
true
supposed
that
to do the
Hifumi
numbering
was
on
killed
what
with
order?
Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's
Possibly,
death
yeah.
came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came back.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the
It's true that Hifumi was killed with justice while Taka's
Just
dead.
hold on tight.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that he flew while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, regarding Taka, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed.
There you go.
No, what's wrong?
Me and my half heart. Yeah, we're gonna solve it.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
There's the proof. Taka was
watch.
killed. His watch.
So you're like 3 steps ahead of where the game needs you to be.
Hangman's Gambit.
Watch.
Watch. Wristwatch, perhaps.
Yeah.
Eye. I need an eye. S. Oh, I didn't get to T. Wrist. Y. T. C.
Careful with your aim. You might actually get the wrong letter. I would kill you instantly
Now I understand.
with your half heart.
I try.
I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Right, he was making a comment about his wristwatch.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Precisely.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Exactly.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
They only had a
his
moment.
body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
He was still alive when we got up there, but I still don't see him climbing that flight of stairs.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
I mean, it's entirely possible he wasn't dead the first time he got hit. In the light, well, we saw him in the room dead, right? When we came back down to the nurse's office.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he was dead. We heard the death announcement, but the Taka's body was discovered almost at the exact same time when they discovered it upstairs, and it requires 3 people, one of which passed out. But we only heard one announcement at that point. We didn't hear another announcement about the deaths until we discovered his body again upstairs. And even then, it was still premature because he still talked after that. So it could be the situation that we found them both at the same time, and we assumed Hifumi was the death message that we got in the room, but it was actually Taka's death message.
Right.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Is it really possible? Alright, what bullets do I have this time so I can die? I don't think it's any of those
Saying that
bullets.
when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why
I
the
kind of feel like
announcement
that was
made.
probably it.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Ooh, that's it.
That's it, and use
it against
the
that
thing
was-
sounded.
Yeah, the thing sounded.
Yep, I agree.
Are you saying
Oh,
that
no,
when we
that's
first
not right.
found
We're both
him,
going
there's a
down
chance
together.
No.
Yep.
Hifumi was
Oh,
dead.
boy.
You know that surely you heard the body with
You've yet to
Hifumi's
game
dead,
over.
and that is
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first
There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a
And you know that how?
Shortly, he heard the body discovery announcement. Along with the rest, Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, it's wrong.
We're still in it.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
But we're pretty sure it was Taka because he died at 6.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
For the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
But he clearly made the announcement when we got in and found both bodies together.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! The 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually
And
dead
there's
yet.
plenty of chemicals in there to make it pretend like he was dead. So someone either A, drugged him, or B, he was being malicious himself. Maybe he killed Taka because of the whole laptop thing.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found.
And that's just
Oh,
part
my
of it.
bad.
There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
He cleaned his own glasses.
This whole thing is pointless.
Oh, not another bullet time. I just wanted to be able to select the... Oh, jeez. Hifumi's glasses is part of it, though.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned...
Oh, fuck.
You had to wait one more phrase.
Yeah, probably.
Shoot!
Oh, oh no!
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then...
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything coming back from
It
this.
was in.
But when you compare his body before...
Other than the change, there was no notable
There.
difference.
There we go.
You had to wait one more
1
phrase.
second. Oh,
You have a thing about
so
shooting
close.
way too early.
In fact,
It's
there was
one
clear
moment.
difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
It was the handkerchief.